ladies and gentlemen, we've got Rotus. He's back.
Good morning, Rufai.
Yes,
good morning,
my brother.
Femi. Ayo, great to see you again.
Great
Welcome
to see
back.
you.
Welcome
Rotus, how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Good morning. Viewers, good morning. Let's kick off with what to watch this week. All eyes will be on the jobs numbers on Friday, but GTEX, which is a global digital tech summit, is coming to Abuja and Lagos over the next couple of days. I think Abuja today and tomorrow, then Lagos Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, we get flash Eurozone consumer price index inflation numbers for August. Wednesday, JOLTS, job openings and labor turnover for the United States. Everybody's looking at jobs. Thursday, the trade balance for Brazil. There's a lot of talk about the tariffs. We want to see whether, whether businesses in Brazil have been front-loading on imports. And then Friday is the big one. Remember, Donald Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics over the August jobs. So I want to see whether anything would have improved. In Asia, Alibaba shares were the highlights in Hong Kong, jumping about 19% on the back of their earnings. They're spending a lot of money on artificial intelligence, although they're also going into the food division. They're challenging JD.com and Mitua, and that's kind of impacted their earnings a bit. It's really competitive in that division. But the Wall Street Journal is reporting that they're building another chip to try and rival NVIDIA. As you know, there's been a whole back and forth between the US and China over whether to allow chips to go to China. The US has curbed them, but they said, okay, maybe some chips will be allowed. There's this whole back and forth. Huawei is in that space as well. Speaking of the US, the big news, of course, from Friday, that the US Appeals Court has deemed most of the Trump tariffs to be illegal, backing up what the U.S. Court of International Trade said about a couple months ago. Although the tariffs will be kept in place until October, I think they're going to allow for this to now go to the Supreme Court. But very quickly, just looking at, it was a 7-4 decision, looking at what the court actually said. It said the statute, which is IEPA, International Economic Emergency Powers Act, bestows significant authority on the president to undertake a number of actions in response to a declared national emergency, but none of those actions explicitly include the power to impose tariffs, duties, or the like, or the power to tax. And they went further in that, yes, they talk about the taxation, but it's something that Congress is supposed to do. It says, notably, when drafting IEPA, Congress did not use the term tariff or any of its synonyms like duty or tax. And so therefore, if the president wants to move forward with that, it's something that Congress, he basically sidestepped Congress, is what they said. There are numerous statutes that do delegate to the president the power to impose tariffs. In each of these statutes that we have identified, Congress has used clear and precise terms to delegate tariff power. So they basically said he overstepped his boundary. Of course, he responded in a Truth Social post saying that the Supreme Court will back him up. We'll see whether that happens or not. I think Adefemi already went over the security conference in northern China where Xi Jinping, Chinese president, and Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, met. Basically now the worry is that China and India will of course be looking to export outside the U.S. Now, of course, the U.S. is still the biggest market, and both parties, of course, which have significant trade surpluses with the U.S., are looking to go elsewhere. There was a headline in the Financial Times that said Russia, which of course is part of BRICS with Brazil, Russia, India, China, basically imposed fees to stem the flood of low-cost Chinese cars. And there's a graph that really encapsulates this, right? If you see, you see Chinese exports of vehicles over to Russia far exceed, I mean, look at that. In recent years, it has surged, right? So you can see Russia there, that's the line there. You can see other entities or other regions below. It's not even close. And you can see Mexico down there, United Arab Emirates, the US, and Brazil, and other areas. It's not even, I mean, it's so high. But of course, there were sanctions on Russia that crimped their ability to manufacture and also get imports from elsewhere. So China has taken over. Now, Africa is, of course, the focus. Now, if you look at China's year-on-year exports to Africa over the first 7 months of this year, they have ramped up. Cars are up 115%, motorcycles up 84%, machinery 63%, trucks 61%, ships 57%. South Africa, as you know, has a big vehicle manufacturing sector, which is about 20% of its economy. Ford has recently announced layoffs. So this big influx of, or rather exports of Chinese items to other countries, there's a fear now that, dumping fears essentially could be there. To the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I think that This Day newspaper had a headline on this over the weekend on Saturday. still up about 36.3% year to date as of the end of August trading on Friday. Still going strong. We have a chart of the all-share index basically picking up. We looked at the end of each month up until August. So you can see it starting at 104,000 by the end of January, up to 140,000. And there's talk of whether or not we could hit, 100 million or rather trillion rather, with respect to the market capitalization of the index. And I have this report with me on AI because I have to talk about AI. Phillips Consulting has this report on talent management and how artificial intelligence can impact human resources. Will companies use AI to go through CVs? Will they use AI to weigh in on code of conduct matters and so on and so forth? And there's a quote here from Felicia Phillips, who of course is the chair, saying AI won't replace talent, it will redefine it. It will redefine what people must become. I believe that the winners of tomorrow are not those with more data, but those with more adaptable people. Adaptability will become the new currency of talent. So how adaptable are you? Because in the age of AI, irrelevance, not unemployment, becomes the real risk. And interesting to note, a church in Nigeria is actually hosting an AI summit. They are talking about what is it? Yeah, so psychological well-being and Christian counseling, caring for the soul in a digital age is actually a forum by an actual church. Yeah,
we don't have time to talk.
Yeah,
Very
that's
apt.
it.
A guy died because he took advice on how to kill himself from AI.
ChatGPT, yeah, they are suing them. They're suing OpenAI. Yeah.
We have to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.